At 5, our Samantha Cavalli was at the local airport today speaking with travelers before this announcement. Many of them told us their flying experiences have been pretty smooth.
Right, Cami, we're still waiting on word about which of those 40 airports that you mentioned is going to be impacted. That announcement coming probably sometime tomorrow. But before the Transportation Secretary made that announcement earlier this evening, travelers at Appleton International Airport were not concerned and pleasantly surprised despite reports of those delays elsewhere. As the government shutdown stretches into another day, thousands of air traffic controllers and TSA workers continue to work without pay, raising concerns about potential travel impacts.
Those who travel will see that we've had more delays. We've had more cancellations. We do not want to see disruptions.
Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy announcing 10% of flights will be canceled at 40 major airports across the country if a deal isn't reached by Friday.
For us, we came from Denver International and flew here, and it's been, so far we haven't noticed any big change, but that was just the one flight. I mean, I think that's a good possibility, unfortunately.
At some of the country's busiest airports, including those in the New York area, the FAA reported nearly 80% of staff calling out. But locally, passengers say it's been business as usual.
Kept my fingers crossed, and we were out on time. Had a great flight, no delays, and made it to Appleton with no trouble.
Lynn Hobbs and her husband travel from Pennsylvania every year, usually driving since COVID. But this year they decided to fly, booking their flight just before the shutdown began.
So the shutdown came, and we thought for sure we should cancel, but we just thought we'll hang in there and see what happens. So we're going to keep our fingers crossed that we make it home just as well as we made it here.
Now, Abe Weber, the Appleton Airport director, telling us that the government shutdown has limited impact and saying, quote, that we have had no delays in air service. Our TSA agents and air traffic controllers are on duty as normal. They anticipate that travelers arriving and departing through ATW will continue to experience the same convenient air travel that we offer every day, end quote. And a spokesperson from Green Bay, Austin Straubel Airport, said the airport doesn't expect the FAA's reduction to impact GRB, but reminds flyers to be mindful of their travel plans if originating from the nation's larger airports. Reporting in the Fox Valley newsroom, Samantha Cavalli, Action 2 News.